Hello. And good evening to an empty chat. That's fine. I forgot to tweet. Hello. I forgot to tweet that I'm starting. I'm a fucking dumbass. God damn it. Hold on. Hold on. Very professional gameplay. Stream right off the bat. Yes. How are you on this fine evening? Good. Tweet now. Yeah, I am. Like, okay, I did a tweet like, okay, in 40 minutes. And then I started streaming like, did I do everything? Apparently I did not do everything. As fine as ever. Nice. I am... my nose is itchy. My nose is extremely itchy. For some reason. Otherwise I'm fine. Like, it's okay. I'm just gonna focus on the game, not think about real life. Real life bad. Would you care for a recap? Because I don't think you saw the other parts of what happened so far. And I'm not sure if you've played this one yourself or not. Real life boring, yes. Real life blah. Real life give me money so I can live. Sadly. Okay, so far our grandpa is dead and he's like, okay, you can take the cafe. Glasses! Hello! So far grandpa is dead, we take his cafe, we don't know anything about brewing. Surprise, surprise, there's some kind of weird portal in the cafe that connects to different worlds. A bunch of hot guys come in. It's like, okay, we're regulars here. We also live here because their grandpa rented them some rooms. And, well, we're trying to reopen the cafe now. Some weird government organization also wants it because world's danger, war could break out, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm only in chapter 2. We're starting chapter 3 now, so nothing too fantastic has happened yet. We haven't seen any of the worlds yet, but we probably will. And we will go for the Dalahan's route first. I love him because it's like, okay, look, he doesn't have a head, but he wears some old armor helmet when he goes out, and no one questions it for magic reasons. A lot of this game has magic reasons we don't explain, but it's okay. Being restricted for solitaire months, yeah. What's up? Definitely check out the game. It's very nice. But if you can, honestly, like, you should probably just go for the Japanese original, because while this is not as bad as the Colamellis disaster, it's still plenty bad. Like, I've only read the prologue and 2 chapters, and there's been too many typos for my liking already, and words missing, and full stops missing, you know, that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, access game. Ooh. How's the sound, everyone? Is it fine? I didn't change anything from last time, so it should be, but just making sure before we jump in. Yeah. I went off on a tangent for a few minutes last time regarding the translation, because I'm still mad. Okay, it's fine, that's great. Then you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna start chapter 3. Wah 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 wah. Also, look at my fine glasses that I'm going to wear every time I do visual novel streams now, because it makes me look intelligent. They won't fix this one. They won't fix it the same way they did the other, because it's not as bad. The other had so many mistakes that fans compiled, so they had to fix it because there was so much outrage. This one is just now, well, it has a few typos, honestly, at this point. They don't care. They don't care. Am I warmed up? No. Am I gonna start reading? Yes. A few months have passed since I moved here. Oh wow. All of those documents, all the certifications needed. Dealing with upgrading all of that equipment, maybe actually learning how to brew a coffee. Because we don't know how to brew coffee. But we want to open a cafe. The aroma of coffee floated in the air of the cafe, signaling the arrival of a new owner. The interminable training I went through just to be able to pour a cup of coffee. Okay, maybe we now know how to brew coffee. The situation, not knowing left from right, here with such an eccentric bunch of guests, after overcoming so many challenges. Finally! Yeah! It's finally the day. Café Enchanté is back in business. Who let all those exclamation marks go? Hello? Was there a sale somewhere? Huh? Why aren't you all excited? I changed it to a new uniform and made so many preparations too.
いや、そう言われてもな。そりゃめでてえはめでてえが、正式オープンつってもよ。
何度も繰り返しているように、ここは人払いを施しているので、新規顧客が来るとしても非常に稀なこと。
Hello, yes, I have glasses. Yeah, also, there's some kind of barrier on the cafe, so like people that don't meet some kind of specifications, we don't know what exactly those are yet, maybe never, can't come in. So it's like this, I have no clue how the grandpa kept this cafe running. I know actually, because these guys, the ones of them that live here, that rent a room, pay in like actual fucking gold. That's worth like 500,000 yen. So money. But still, it's like, okay, you have this massive cafe, but half of the time we only cook for ourselves and brew coffee for ourselves. So yeah.
だからなんというか、俺たちからすれば環境的に変わったことはないんだよね。
And as I've said many times before, I don't like the one on the right. He looks... I still haven't looked up what exactly how you say it in English, because everyone who's in chat right now is German anyway, aber sieht schmierig aus. Er sieht schmierig aus und ich mag ihn nicht. Und ich mag jetzt schon nicht, dass wir ihn irgendwann daten müssen. I swear to God. Okay.
一緒に喜んであげたいけど、僕もいい年だから、どうしてもそんな考えになっちゃってね。
Also, he's 42. The red-haired one is 25, so he's like our age, like 2 years older or something. I forgot how old Carlos is. The angel is like a few hundreds, and the demon king is like a few thousand years old. Yeah, I also don't know which exact word I'm looking for. It's just in German I think of schmierig. That's what describes him best. So I don't like him. Really. I know I was looking forward to it, but I imagine everyone would be excited when the day came. This was shocking. It's this guy. Also, he's part of the weird government thingy that is trying to get this cafe for the portal that's in there. I should have cleaned my glasses before starting to stream, because now I can't do it and I can't see. Slimy. So you say slimy in English, do you? Shady, scruffy looking. Do you actually say slimy? Because that's what I would have said, but it sounds weird. Oh, okay. Nice. It's just a guy. And also he has a gun, and I don't like him. I decided to tuck away the party pop I was keeping in my pocket before anyone happened to notice it. Oh no, baby. Someone did happen to voice some support for me though after my horrible flop. He's happy. He's green, so he's happy.
ここは何かしら祝い事をすべきではないか。それじゃあオーソドックスにパーティーでもするかい？
リンド、それはあなたが不在の間に 近しいことをすでに行ってい
No,
ます。
that was just for me arriving. This is a party for me opening the cafe.
そうなんだ。しかも初耳で地味にショック。
Who even invited you? Well, you know, that party, it was right before the GPM attacked. The strangest tea party. That really was something, wasn't it? Yeah, it's like... It happened yesterday. It feels like it happened yesterday, but okay. The game makes use of a bunch of flashbacks, even though you basically just read about the thing happening, and then it's like, remember when? Yes, I
パーティ
remember.
ーでもいいけど変わり映えしない内容ね。
A party's a
まあ
party.
会場の雰囲気ぐらいならいくらでも変えられるけどさ。
Uh-huh.
今度はどのような装いにしましょう。溶岩地帯や断崖絶壁あたりが琴音にとっては新鮮でしょうか。
I mean, you could curl up and sleep. Let my voice lull you to sleep, if you want. Eel, those aren't so much refreshing to me as they are places I'd never like to come near. Okay.
つかなんでそんな極端な場所をチョイスすんだてめえは。
Well, if it's just hold on. If it's not actually real lava, but just something we imagine, we could touch it. I would like to see it. Oh, I see.
僕がディナーにエスコー
No,
トはおまけがいっぱいいるから無理か。
he already took us out for dinner once. I don't. Please. No, you don't need to. I'm not suggesting that everyone has to celebrate with me. I just thought that it would be a little sad to open the cafe and not acknowledge it. It might be true that to everyone else their normal lives had simply returned to them, but to me this was a brand new start. It was my first big step toward my new life, so at least it would make me happy if we could all have a proper tea party to celebrate. Yeah, also, the job she worked before was horrible. She was treated horribly at that job, so relatable. My eyes scanned their faces, watching for their thoughts to appear.
あなたは少々ささやかすぎる嫌いがあるな。
Thank you. You are so right. Huh?
カヌスの言う通りかもね。おじさんたちの都合なんて気にしないで、もっと君自身の主張をぶつけていいのに。今日は大事な日なんだ。祝え常連ども。ってね。
Carlos and Mr. Rindo look at each other. Look at each other.
でもまあ
Jesus Christ.
そうだよね。俺たちが祝わなくて誰が祝うんだって話だし。
Mm-hmm.
お茶会やろうか。今度は正真正銘アンシャンテの再会を祝してさ。
With me to smile, everyone else begins to comment supportively about the tea party.
俺は別に元から反対してたわけじゃねえし、
Yeah,
お前がやりてえなら
パ
いいんじゃねえの。
party. Party.
私も皆の意見に賛成です。これまでの経緯を考えるに、彼女を祝うのは自然な流れかと。
Also, please Twitch, don't kill my stream in the middle like you did every other time I played this game. I would be very grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. Alright, I get everything ready. What sort of food does everyone want?
はい、ストップ。なんとなくそう来るとは思ったけどさ。
Huh? Huh?
今回も俺たちが準備するからさ。
Ooh.
音ではゆっくり休んでなよ。開店の一番の功労者なんだし。
Hell yeah.
そう
Me
そう
relax.
それに琴音ちゃんは普段からここのメンツの食事やら何やら面倒見てるんだからさ。
Mm-hmm.
ここは我々に日頃の恩を返させてはくれまいか。
No, but she has everything she needs now to actually be able to open it. Certifications, blah blah blah. And apparently she can brew a cup of coffee now. She practiced a lot. Really? I hate stuttering. I hate having to read out loud when someone stutters. Everyone actually wants to help me. I don't feel like I've done enough for them to owe me any kind of debt. But it really does bring joy to my heart that they would be so thoughtful. I'll take you up on your offer. Thank you very much. Yay! Also look at that room. I like her room. It's very nice. After mentioning to come ask me if there was anything they didn't know, I took their advice and went to relax quietly in my room. Why do I feel like she's not the type of person who can actually relax not doing anything? I can't relax. Yeah, it looks... I guess. Looks fine enough. Thinking back, whenever I had any free time, I was either cooking or studying to prep for reopening the business. Now that I didn't need to do that, I was totally bored. Aw. How is it that I have more free time now that we've officially reopened? I couldn't help but question the issue. They wouldn't mind if I were to come down just to see how things were going, right? They are probably trying to surprise you. In the end, the fact that I was bored still remained. I decided the best thing was to go see how they all were doing. I was also just curious to see what kind of work they were all getting done. Okay, now that I've decided, who should I go? Ah, I see. Hold on. I have no clue where good save points are. Like maybe nothing you do in the first 3 chapters even matters to get into someone's route, but I don't care. We are going to see how Kindness is doing. As for Kindness, he mentioned he was in charge of making the meals today. Oh yes. He did make a note of being clumsy before, but I wonder how he is at cooking. He's not even clumsy, like in every sense. It's just that he's really bad with technology. Like he touches something, and it breaks. Hello. I enter the kitchen slowly so that I don't startle him. There in this kitchen, which had become my training ground lately, I saw Canis carefully trying to use a knife, which was wobbling unsteadily in his hands. I'm sure Ignis, who I couldn't see, was out in the storehouse trying to find more ingredients. Noticing my arrival, he turns toward me after carefully putting down the knife. Your normal outfit still looks fucking ugly. No, nothing in particular. I was just wondering how the cooking was going. I looked at the ingredients that he had laid out onto the cutting board. A fresh tomato, a large cut of bacon, and eggs cut into small pieces. Some bread was off to the side with the crust cut off of it. Ah, so he happened to be making... Candace, you're making sandwiches? Oh no. It's fine, I'm sure they'll taste. They're on the larger side, but that makes them appealing in their own way. But actually this isn't good. Just looking at this makes me want to... Hey Candace, is it okay if I help you out with this too? I couldn't help but want to make something after seeing all of this here. I mean, I just enjoy cooking. Candace attempted to refuse my help at first, but... Well... Huh! Well... Sure thing, I wash my hands first. And then I'm gonna end up doing... everything. Candace and I make quick work of the vegetables as we stand together. There were no major mistakes, and even though he said he was clumsy, I felt that Candace was actually fairly talented at cooking. As I was watching this new side of him in admiration, it looked as if Candace picked up some of the scraps from the vegetables we had cut. Oh, and somehow made them disappear into his face. Yeah, his non-existent face. I felt like I was experiencing déjà vu. What's the pink one? Is he embarrassed? Is that embarrassment? Face. He must have been embarrassed after I caught him taking bites while he was cooking. The flame coming from his neck was red. That's not red. That's almost the same pink my hair is. Are you kidding me? But what I was more curious about was... I wondered what happens to the food. It was even more fascinating this time, since he didn't have a helmet on like before. Will he eat something else? Hoping he would, I continued to stare at him.
琴音も何か食べるか？
It's pink. Like her uniform is red, but that's not. Huh? He misinterpreted my staring. Before I could mention he was mistaken, he hands me a piece of the bacon that he had cut. Does he expect me to eat it just like this? I mean, my hands are full. Okay, maybe just a bite then. Thinking about it would just make the whole thing even more embarrassing, so I decided that I'd just open my mouth. The very moment I had bacon in my mouth. What? What the fuck are you? That's red! This is red now. Not pink again. We could hear Ignis Me decides to stream in English. Me is terrible at pronunciation. Exasperated voice as he side-eyed us walking through the kitchen. Candice and I quickly separated ourselves. We went back to work in a fluster. Oh no. How dare you? I can do it. I can do it! Ignis, who said he'd prepare his favorites, the meats, focused intensely on the fry pan in his hand. Candice and I entered the final step of putting the ingredients into the bread and cutting the sandwiches. Ingredients! A sandwich after sandwich was completed. Candice suddenly begins to speak.
少し良いだろうか？
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like, I need 3 tries and then do it slowly just to pronounce the word correctly. English team. I saw people who would stream Duolingo. Like, practicing a language on Duolingo, and I'm very tempted. English team. What is it?
アンシャンテの再オープンについて、みんな以前と大差ないと話していたが、きっと本心ではアンシャンテが続くことをとても喜んでいるはずだ。
Right.
無論我もだな。
Entire stream like, oh god damn it, what does this word mean?
その望みを叶えてくれた礼を、こたびの茶会で少しでもあなたに返せればと。
Why is there a bunny on the fridge? I just noticed. I could feel a boundless sincerity within each and every word he spoke. I'd also like to thank all of you. I was only able to take on this amazing cafe because of meeting everyone here. I met his sincerity with complete honesty, leaving no room for doubt about my feelings. Yeah. A few hours later, the preparations for the tea party went along smoothly thanks to everyone's efforts.
あとは会場のセッティングと。
Decorate like a normal person would, or just make the entire interior look like something else? With magic. I guess I just answered my own question. Monsieur snaps his fingers as Eel put his hands together as if he were praying. It's the same one as before. The inside of the cafe turned back into the same whimsical setting as the last party.
なんだ、結局はこれかよ。お前らも芸がねえな。
Oh.
失礼だな。こんなに綺麗な空間、邪悪な魔王様的には力作なんだよ。
You sound like a chuny.
我には好ましい景色だ。アンシャンテの再会、その始まりは前回の茶会の時だったのだからな。
It does look nice. Well, it has some guy in the picture now, but it does look nice. I also really like this place. Back then, when they all showed me how deep their bonds were with Grandpa, it still didn't really feel like months had already passed. I meant what I said. I enjoyed this place and how much peace it always brings me. Everyone chose their seat and poured their favorite drinks for themselves. Being just a tea party, there was no call for a formal toast. So then, let's itadakimasu. After thanking everyone for the prep work, I took a sip of the coffee I had brewed. Oh! How is it? Although Ignis's dishes were piling up everywhere, I savored all of the meals that were prepared. Mr. Rindo gives a carefree smile as he watches how I react to each dish I taste.
すっかり君も非日常に染まっちゃって、おじさんはちょっと複雑な気分だよ。
Yeah, well, maybe old men don't belong here. Ha 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 ha.
もうリンドウも諦めてさ、染まっちゃえばいいんじゃない？そうしたらほら、悩まなくて済むよ。
His best face is back.
そういうわけにはいかないでしょう。彼女が悪の道に染まらないよう、僕がちゃんと守ってあげないとさ。
The old man looks like he's going to, what's the word? Kidnap us and bring us to a different world and then go, haha, you shall not leave and we will use you to start a war between our worlds. Brr, brr, brr. That's what he looks like. How should I respond to it? Just stay quiet. The one who jumped into the argument between the two agitated men. It was unexpectedly ill.
私たちからすれば GPM の方がよほど悪の定義に近いかと思いますが。
え、嘘？本当に？
You run around with guns, my good dude.
なんで意外そうな顔してんだよ。襲撃時の下っ端どもの態度、悪役そのものだったじゃねえか。
詐欺まがいの行為に恐喝。あては丸腰の少女をも巻き込み、銃を用いてまでの襲撃。誰がどう見ても間違いなく悪人の所業であったろうな。
Mr. Reno let out a surprising emotion in the form of a frustrated grunt.
GPM が悪の組織なら、リンドはそこの中ボスかな？
へ。
中間管理職だからあながち間違ってはないけど、なんか嫌だなその呼び方。
Melting. Oh. Oh? Really? As that conversation continued, suddenly I meet eyes with Mr. Rindo.
そうだ。せっかく異世界や人外の話が出たんだし。
Shit.
君たちのこと、彼女にもう少し詳しいことを教えて。
Okay, continue. Continue. Actually, that's a very nice topic for once.
せっかくも何も非日常がどうのこうのって話を切り出したのはてめえだろう。
しかし今日はくしくもアンシャンテの再オープンという大事な節目。
Tell me
も
about
ち
all
ろ
the
ん
words.
俺は構わないよ。琴音が聞きたいことがあるなら何でも答えてあげちゃいますとも。
ことね、どうでしょうか。私たちに改めて何か質問はありますか？
Yes. Questions? Well, when you ask me like that, it prompts me to ask something, but it was so sudden no decent questions would come to me.
例えば、彼らの故郷のこととかどうかな。
He's happy. He's so happy he's blinding. Mr. Rindo threw me a lifeline. Where everyone is from? Oh, I'd like to hear about that.
人外そのものについては、彼らとの交流で少し理解があると思うけど、異界そのものは全然わからないでしょ？
He was right. I can more or less assume what non-humans are like for Misia and the others here. But beyond that gate, I still knew nothing of the worlds that were out there.
故郷。まあ話すのはいいけどよ。わかりづらくねえか、それ。
そこはほら、僕がちゃんとフォローするよ。そう。これを使ってね。
What? Mr. Rindo pulls out a large tablet from his bag on the floor. Ignis is some kind of demon wolf? Demon fire wolf? Remember? Yeah. What's that for?
僕のお仕事用端末。イグニスも言ってたけど、言葉だけじゃ分かりづらいかと思ってさ。見せられる範囲でだけど、視覚的な資料があった方が分かりやすいと思ってね。
Uh-huh. He quickly begins to operate the
どう
tablet.
ことねちゃん。まずは誰の世界が気になるかな？
We're just gonna start on top and go all through all of them. Yeah, all of them. Will you tell me about the demon world, Monsieur?
お、それじゃあそこを牛耳る魔王様自らが解説してあげようじゃない。
Yes. Whoop. Observe world number demon world Asmodia. Losing its sun, the world is pitch black. Oh. Okay. The world is pitch black, its land illuminated by a dark moon. Its atmosphere is filled with miasma, with swarms of terrible poisons whirling about. The non-humans that live there are called demons, who are creatures of impulse and fight in endless bloody wars. The leader of such a dangerous species is the strongest of them, Demon Lord Monsieur Alex. Alex? What? Hold on. Alex? Why can I not scroll down? Oh, this way. His name is not Alex. Exes, please. Can you proofread your fucking games? Hello? I'm gonna cry. I was like, excuse me? Like, I'm sure I would have remembered if that's really his name. Okay. Okay. Ignore. We ignore this. We ignore this. Additionally, humans live in this world too. Not many, but every few centuries a hero is born of them. The heroes vow to rid the world's miasma and subdue the one responsible, the Demon Lord.
でもさ、実はアスモディアの正気って魔王とか関係ないんだよね。
I now pronounce you Alex.
あれ、もともとの世界環境だし、万が一俺を倒せたとしてもどうにもならないんだけど。
So that's just a regular RPG world, you know, some kind of demon governs
勇者一族
everything.
はその辺知らないっぽいんだよね。どうするんだろうね。俺が死んでも世界が戻らなかったら。
That's the end of the report. However, this didn't come from observations of Asmodia. It was simply a report straight from the Demon Lord Monsieur. This report was based on hearsay from him, and as such we weren't able to verify whether or not his words were true. Oh. I bet he's lying. Like, maybe the miasma is actually there, but I think most of the other stuff is just... Nah. At the very least, I understood that the demon world is a very harsh world to live in. Demon world Asmodia, and the world where demons live, ruled by the demon king Monsieur. Heroes exist there, making it a real-life fantasy RPG world setting. Wow. Just then...
勇者一族とかいうやつら、そいつらが不憫でならねえな。
Oh.
そう勇者ってだけで無条件でチヤホヤされるんだし、意外とバッドエンドがお似合いかもよ。
あとレポートにもあったと思うけど、これ全部ミシェルからの話だからね。どこまでが本当なのか怪しいもんさ。
あれ、信用ないな。善意で聞き取り調査に協力してあげたっていうのに。
Well, good thing we have like 4 routes to go through until we get to his, so we can actually find out what his world is like. According to Mr. Rindo, demons were very rare species. Races that inhabit Asmodia, while often confused with devils, devils are simply a race of demons, and Misha is not one of them. They are very rare non-humans and are hardly ever found. Okay. The only one who had actually appeared and was cooperative in ever being studied was Misha here. Fangboy was a demon lord supposed to not have goodness in his heart. Yeah. Who knows? So, I'm curious about... Well, we're doing everything, yeah. Can I hear more about the fairy world where Canis is from?
レディオについてか。
Yes.
ならば、我 我が語るべきだ。
Tell me, are the fairies like really small and you're for some reason like normal human size? That would be funny.
タブレットは私が操作しましょう。アヌスが触ると壊れてしまいますから。
Oh no, don't be so... Don't be mean. Oh, that's nice. Observe world, blah 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 blah. Fairy world medio. A world populated by what humans consider fairies, a mythical, metaphysical creature. Fairy. Half physical, illusionary non-humans that inhabit Medio. Despite his rough appearance, Canis is also a legitimate fairy. Ha! It appears to be governed by a monarchy. According to observation, it is a world teeming with nature. Its beauty ranks among the highest of all alternate worlds. Another world where fairies live and Kano's homeworld. It is blessed with an abundance of nature and is home to the fairies that inhabit this world ruled by a monarchy. Yeah, well, okay. It is believed that folklore rooted in the human world, such as Lane and you know, and leprosh. You know, derived from beings from media. Yeah. A type of fairy is told in Ireland of the human world to take the form of a beautiful young woman. They seek the love of human men, bestowing talents like poetry to those who accept her love. Leprechaun, a type of fairy, is told in Ireland of the human world. They appear as elderly men of tiny size, taking pleasure with mischief. Leprechauns. Maybe everything's a fake creature. Oh wow, to think it's such a beautiful world.
あの世界の美しさは我自らが保証しよう。
So pray tell, why do you not have a head? Why do you not ask why he does not have a head? Okay. Can I hear more about the heavenly world where Eel's from?
展開についてですか。
It doesn't have Wi-Fi.
もっと表現すればいいのなら。
It doesn't have Wi-Fi. Boop. Observer, blah blah blah. Heavenly world, Kelm. The world where the dietic species known as angels and fallen angels in the human world reside. Also, according to Eel, abbreviated of Enchanté, the only being on record that has been communicated with.
展開ですか。とても綺麗な世界ですよ。
Yeah, no. Is what he had to say. Proceeding with further details or any conversation whatsoever was not possible. The world is assumed to have been created out of an energy that is impossible to be described in a physical sense. And we... Thanks! How dare I want to know more.
これ会話は続行不可能ともっともらしく書いてるけどよ。
単にイルとの会話を諦めただけだ。
仕方ないじゃない。君たち抜きでこのぽやぽや打天使様と会話するのは難易度高いんだ
If he's chatty, why would it be difficult to talk to him?
おや、私は問われたことをそのまま答えただけなんですが、何か情報の過不足がありましたか？
ああ、平気平気。林道の聞き方が悪かっただけだから気にすることないよ、いる。
Sure. Still, there isn't much information at all written here.
展開はとにかく閉鎖的でね。ほとんど調査が進んでないんだよ。
Another world? A world. N? A? In the heavens where Eel lived. While it is a beautiful world, it is very insular, so the details are shrouded in mystery. He can, yeah, he's very literal. Whatever you ask him, he probably just answers it in the most literal sense, so you're not getting anywhere. It looks wrong. Yeah.
天使の存在自体、魔族と並んでレア中のレアだから、イル以外の個体も探しようがないし。
Maybe they're the last of their race, and they just haven't told you. Oh. I see. That's why when those GPM officials attacked us, they were so surprised after hearing that he was a fallen angel. A lot of stuff in the English language looks wrong, but it isn't. For some reason. Oh, by the way, I heard that Eel had become a fallen angel after breaking the laws of Calm. A fallen angel refers to an angel that had become tainted, right? Could that reason be? Angels fall when they break the law. Refers to individuals whose wings have changed color. But his wings are white, so do they have, like... You know what? I just read. I stop asking and just read. Buffalo, 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 buffalo. Huh? Divine non-humans with white wings on their backs, inhabiting heavenly world Cam. In the human world, many legends and myths tell of such beings as the envoys of God. Individuals who have not fallen are sometimes called true angels. Including fallen angels, they are very rare non-humans, and none aside from Eel have been found in the human world.
ゲームか。
ゲームじゃねえだろうな。
ゲームまさかね。
Could it be Otome games? Okay. Eel tilts his head in puzzlement. Puzzlement? Just by looking at him, we could all infer the truth. Okay, we just closes it over. I didn't hear anything, that's fine. The beast word, Bestia. I like to hear more about the beast word where Ignis is from. I do. Now answer my question.
では、私が代わりに解説しましょう。リンド、タブレットを貸してください。
あ、てめえ、箱入り何を勝手に。
Okay. Observe word, beast word, Bestia. An extremely cold land where species are thought to have evolved from animals, demon beasts reside. Although the entire landscape is covered in frost, several different species live there. The number of the types exceeds even that of the fairies of Meteor. Also, it is unknown why, but the frequency in which it connects to a wormhole is high. That said, residents of this world comprise a huge number of non-humans in the human world. Monsters whose base forms are animalistic and appear in human myths and legends are believed to have come from Bestia. Oh, they call him a need all the time. Like, not need, but shut in and stuff. Because he is. They say it often. Furry what? Right as he lends the report, Ignis takes the terminal away from him and throws it back toward Rindo. So that's what you mean by demon beasts. So that's what you mean, okay. I always imagined it was more like the monsters that appear in manga or games.
あれはどっちかってと魔族だろ。見た目も大体キモいじゃねえ。一緒にするんじゃねえよ。
ちなみに、イグニスは人型をとっていますが、動物に近しい姿の魔獣もいるそうですよ。
So we could have... Ha! If this wasn't Otome game, maybe we could have actually had Ignis in more of a furry form. Or like a character like him in more of a furry form, maybe. Non-humans inhabiting Bestia many originate from animals, so there's a very large variety of races. I see, could you do that too, Ignis?
まあできなくはねえけどよ。
He
こ
can.
っちの方が楽だしな。
Do it. I want to see a wolf. Could it be that Bestia is kind of like a big zoo? A world frozen and closed off by ice, Ignis' homeland, a world where animals developed into non-humans and demon beasts roam. Ignis is literal dog's portrait in a VR. I mean, the entirety of Heartful Boyfriend exists. You know. Those are not dogs, but you know. Hey.
おい、琴音。今なんかすっげえ失礼なこと考えなかったか。
Not at all. Heartful Boyfriend is full of dogs, what do you mean? Yeah. No. Huh? No, you're just imagining things. His wild instincts are too good. No, but the thing is, you can play Hard for Boyfriend with like actual real birds, or you can have them have like anime boys as sprites, but then Oko-san is still a bird. His other sprite is just a drawn bird, except instead of the real bird. I'm gonna play Hard for Boyfriend on stream one day because I want more people to suffer. Like, not because it's bad, it's extremely good. So, I want more people to suffer the true story behind it. Small feathered dogs. Okay, let's go for the government agency I cannot remember the full name of. Oh, then this is more about this world, but can I hear more about the GPM?
僕のところ構わないけど前にあらかた話しちゃった気もするな
Just tell me. Oh, well, not just about the GPM, but how the GPM sees non-humans. I've only heard about how GPM officials, including you, Mr. Reno, have this idea that, excuse me, that non-humans are just dangerous.
それはまあ事実だからね
よし、その喧嘩買った。表出ろや、リンド。ローストリンドにしてやっか。
Rose Reno. Pigeons are my favorite breed of dog. Ignis, calm down. Comments like that are probably how false perceptions like this are spread. For some reason, Mr. Reno led the chat in a way that I'd ended up following through. In any case, it's easy to see more than one side of people by living with them. The demon lord who likes coffee, the demon beast who loves to eat, the straight-laced knight, the fallen angel who loves games. Seeing them all like this, it's hard to wrap my head around the concept that non-humans are fierce and evil.
まあここにいるメンツを見ているとそう思うのも無理ないと思うけどさ
Although it's not like I'd just forgotten his warning that these men aren't human, it's just how exactly do people from the GPN define what dangerous really
そういう
means?
ことか
After contemplating for a bit, Mr. Reno takes control of his tablet and shows me a particular screen.
別にこれは極秘でもなんでもないから事情を知ってる君には見せちゃうけど
Oh. In the end, it turns out he's like the one guy who does not have any ulterior motives. Like, honestly, I trust him not even a little. But on the other hand, maybe I'm just being mean to him and he actually is nice. The non-humans we are forced to remove and observe are usually divided into groups. Type 1 non-humans, intelligent and capable of speech. In GPM, non-human classification refers to non-humans with intelligence and capable of dialogue. And capable of dialogue by means of language. Inu seems to dance to a melody. He's just a little boy. Type 2 non-humans, incapable of speech and friendly. You know what? I'm gonna stop reading the dictionary. He's a spider's. Non-humans incapable of speech and hostile. The mission of the combat branch is to subdue and or deport type 1 non-humans that show malicious intent and type 3 non-humans. What about type 2 then? What? Huh? According to this, non-humans that are friendly aren't considered dangerous. That's how I understand it. If that's the case, then wouldn't everyone at the Enchanté be an exception?
表向きはねでも結局強大な力を持つ人外をそのまま野放しにはできないんだ
Can we just deport humans that show malicious intent?
巧妙に悪意を隠している人外もいれば自覚なく力を振るってしまう人外だっているそしてそこで振るわれる力というのは大抵が人の命をたやすく奪ってしまうような凶悪なものだった
You say that like humans are not also capable of taking many human lives? Okay, sure. Oh, my head. Oh.
何かがあってから誰かが傷ついてから誰かが死んでから人間はあまりにも脆すぎるそうなってからじゃ遅すぎでしょ
Sure.
だからさあいつはいいやつだなんて理由じゃ野放しにはできない
But like if they're so strong, how do you contain them?
誰しも感情的にはきっといい方向に考えたいんだろうけどね
Just date them. Just do what I'm doing. He points out dangers of willing to be, and we humans just look like hee-haw. Yeah. I get it. I was able to understand something new by listening to you today. Thank you, Mr. Rindo. It seems like the relationship between humans and non-humans went deeper than I thought. Ooh. Humans, non-humans bad, non-humans. Hey guys, wanna see me chuck a whole pot of coffee? Chop, 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 chop. Sorry, I was a little curious about this, but what's a wormhole? It was mentioned when we were talking about beasts, yeah.
まあそれか。なんて
Wormhole!
説明したらいいかな。言葉通りといえば。
It's the first time you've seen it. Grandpa Dad, we're taking over his cafe. We are learning how to actually brew a cafe. It's connected to different worlds due to some kind of portal. All of these men, except for the one on the right now, are non-human beings, like fallen angel, demon, etc. We want to date them and find out more about the underlying plot. But honestly, it is an Otome game, so dating. Dating first, big story later, hopefully. I'm not sure. Wormhole is a portal but in space.
空間に開いた穴でしょうか。
Well,
性質としてはゲートと同じものだと考えてよいかと。
thank
た
you.
だし、ずっとそこにあり続けるゲートとは違い、偶発的に発生、消滅します。
Everything hurts today. When you when you suggest to think of them as gates, you mean they're portals to other worlds?
各世界で確認される現象だよ。
Ooh.
突如発生し、異世界同士をつなぐ。ブラックホールとか落とし穴に似てるね。
I don't think they make any references to games like that. Like maybe to their own games. He has a bunch of merchandise in his own room. But other than that, I don't think.
実はこっちに来てる人外の最たる理由がそのホールなんだよね。
Oh, so it was like random. Huh? It sounds like you're saying they get caught in them by accident.
本人たちにとってみればすごい不運だと思うよ。気がつけば異世界だからね。
It hurts my head to hear the word isekai so often. Like, I get it, but still. True, if you're just thrown into a world where the culture and species are different, those wormholes are pretty scary, huh? Is this what you were referring to, Miche, when you said there are other ways of coming to and from here besides gates?
そうそう。このホールのことだね。ただし、前にも言ったけど、行き来が表現的に正しいかな。
You teleport so fast you die and revive again in a different world. Bam. What?
ホールは開いたとしてもすぐ閉じるから。長ければ数日持つけど、短ければ一瞬。
I want
恒常
to
的な移
go.
動手段には使え
I
ない
want to go through a wormhole, please, game. Please let that be part of
それ
some
とこれ
story.
も理屈はわからないけど、仮に同じ世界、同じ場所でホールが発生したとしても、
That makes
つ
sense.
ながる A の世界でホールに落ちて B の世界へ。そして運よく B の世界でホールを見つけても、そのホールは C の世界につながってる。
Being such a mysterious phenomenon, if you did happen to fall into a wormhole, with extremely good luck you might be able to travel world to world and come back to your own. That... all I can say is that it sounds terrible. Or just get lost.
ホールの出先ばかりは
I'm calling it now.
好きでそこに居つく者もいれば帰る術を失い嘆く者
Isekai jokes and funs. Oh
本当に稀だけどよ。人間界でもホールが開くとき
wow, I'm having a deja vu.
ボケっとして落ちないよう気をつけろよ。
Yes, it does. There's also a cat on it. A hole in space-time connects one world to another. Unlike how the gate allows free coming and going, wormholes appear by themselves, each one different in where it connects and when it opens and closes. Those sucked in almost never return. Ooh. I love this face of her. It's perfect. It's... Is that something you can avoid by being careful?
それにしても琴音ちゃん、飲み込みが早くて驚きだよ。
This game is somewhere set in modern times, but just with fantasy. It's not like she wouldn't have read books about it or played games. She has basic knowledge of games, apparently. Heinous is a man of culture. He is.
メディオの説明に出てたリアナンシーやレプラコーンとか質問されるかなと思ってたんだけど。
Leprechaun. Oh, well, for those, there were books that Grandpa had left behind. I saw those and tried studying on my own. Ha! I mean, his at least looks fine. I think Candace just looks awkward. And Eel and Misha, they just look otherworldly, so that's fine. What's the yellow for? Yeah, I found a few old books while remodeling Grandpa's room. They were about legends and fantasies. I figured they might be related to all of you somehow and read them while I had time. They were for beginners, so it was easy to understand, and the illustrations were fun.
裏でそんな本読んでたんだ。興味ないとか言ってたくせに。
ガサツな人ではあったけど、あの人はあの人なりに君らへの向き合い方を考えてたんだろうね。
Why would you say that? No, it has a few different spots, so I'm just not sure what emotion the yellow is portraying. That's what I mean. Michi smiles gleefully while Mr. Reno smiles solemnly. Both of them running through their own memories of Grandpa. Oh wow, they're still learning things about Grandpa even after he's passed away. I'll take really good care of his books. Yes, books are good. Books very nice. Books. Whose phone is that? Mine. Immediately after making my declaration, my phone started ringing. After excusing myself, I looked and saw. It's our workplace again, isn't it? Or it's our parents. My face froze at the name displayed. My former employer.
それって君を散々酷使したっていう例の
Yeah, actually, since I resigned, they call regularly, almost every day.
はあ
Block the number!
望まぬ相手からの連絡。それは非常に鬱陶しいでしょうね。
I don't know yet. I have no clue what the plot is, except we have different routes where we try and date these guys, but we're only in chapter 3 of the common route, so it's only just building up. They probably have some kind of secret, considering that they're from different worlds, and also there's some kind of background with our old work. There has to be. They wouldn't mention it all the time otherwise, but no clue yet.
それもはやストーカーの域だね。
Wow, he has a different expression on his face for once. My heart was racing at this terrible noise. This ringtone was basically screaming at me. I could ignore it just like I had been this whole time until now, yet... Sorry, I'm going to take this, okay? I need to do something about this already. I can't continue to be afraid of this shadow now that Enchant is opened officially. With everyone watching me, my trembling finger taps the screen. Hello, this is Awaki. Because you are mean? I didn't respond for a moment, taken aback by the lack of a greeting and the attitude. What are you talking about? I've already resigned, you know. I've written my resignation. That's supposed to say letter. I quit for personal reasons. Excuse me. Ugh. But So then?
だがな、うちだって新人のお前を雇って育てるのに時間も金もかけてたわけだ。
Stop screaming at me.
仕事を辞めるってのはな、それを全部無駄にするって話だ。そこんとこ分かってんのか？
Bruh. You know, the guys in this game are really low, even though I have the voices set to the highest it goes. But this dude, they made his voice loud enough that you can actually hear it. Why? Ever since the day I started, my vision would go blurry every time I'd hear that screaming. There were always so many ways I could argue back too. Yet for some reason those words would never find their way out of my thought. You are traumatized.
それでも辞めるっつうなら、きっちり引き継ぎを果たして辞める。社会人として当たり前のことだろ。
She trained someone though. I'm trying to tell you, I already gave out everything needed for anyone to take over my load of work.
ことで解決するわけねえだろ。次の新人を育てるまで残るのが普通だろうが。
What's your fucking problem? This is too much. If I actually did that, they would definitely squeeze at least another year out of me. Yes! yeah, it is Japanese. The voice lines I'm not reading out loud, that's the reason why. I'm terrified. More than anything else, I'm scared of that voice that always tore down my self-worth. You are traumatized, my good... Yo. Still, it's not my problem. I've always told you that it will come to a screeching halt if you continue running a business like that you need to fix things. But even then you wouldn't listen to me. You're the one who never gave me someone to help me out. Holding my trembling heart, I take a deep breath and decide to say what I felt. I found a place I want to protect far more than a company of yours. You're wrong. And I didn't choose this place because I wanted to be treated nicely. Yes, I did have some intentions deep down for that to happen, but it's different now. The people here, they want to see me grow. They don't rush me and care for me as I take each new step. They're strong. They never fake anything. They show me everything, not hiding even the smallest faults. Of course, there were still so many things I didn't know about them, but this I could clearly say. I'm happy, being with everyone here, to worry with them, to struggle with them. I don't really care what's going on over there now, just know I'm not coming back. This place, this is what's important to me now. As I finished, I realized my shaking had stopped. Stop. I don't think the old me would have ever said that I was happy to struggle. I guess that was just how much living at Enchanté had slowly healed my soul. My old boss stayed quiet after my speech. And you and I are both aware that it's been months since I've quit, right? Why? Through all this time have you been... In that moment I realized something. The reason why they would call a high school graduate a quit, who wasn't particularly amazing, so very incessantly... Can it be that your business isn't able to run without me? Well, I'm not coming back, so fuck you. The Labor Bureau. With a mutter, those words trembled out of me on reflex. As if realizing its ominous implications, Stop throwing so many words at me! I'm gonna cry. Please. Please, I am someone who reads a bunch of stuff, so there's so many words I have never actually looked up how they're spoken out loud. The tirade of my former boss stopped cold. I've kept my own attendance record aside from what's in the company system. If you intend to cause any more trouble to me or my cafe in the future, I will send these documents to someone who will be very interested in seeing them. I have to go now. I pray we never cross paths again. Oh. I hung up. Everyone was staring at me hard enough to burn holes through me. I put away my phone and after inhaling my lungs with all the oxygen as full as possible, Ah. I finally told them off. My body, which was ready to collapse, somehow grabbed onto the table reflexively. Seeing that,
ことね、すごいじゃないか。
yeah. The first thing I heard was the Demon Lord's applause, followed by his compliments.
いや、ほんとなかなかの手腕だよ。
I know! The problem here is this. Normally I only read them. I don't read them out loud, so it doesn't matter what the words sound like in my head. And if I don't want to pronounce them in my head, that's fine. I can still read them. But now I have to read them out loud.
口車でうまくやり込めた上に、最後にはさりげなく相手を絶望に突き落としていく。
The reading glasses make me stronger.
うんうん、とてもいいね。さすがは我が魔王軍期待の新人。それぐらいはしたたかでなきゃ。
Mr. Demon Lord, sir, I have no recollection of ever enlisting. Along with Misha snickering, the smiling faces from everyone else in the room helped me ease my tension.
僕も驚いたな。ちなみにさっき言ってた引退記録云々の話って？
She probably did a bunch of overtime. Oh, I kind of just made that up. Back then there was no way I had any time to take anything like that.
出任せ上等じゃねえか。
Ooh.
それで付きまとわれなくなるなら安いもんだろ。
But she did a bunch of overtime. She said something in last chapter like, wow, going to bed before midnight? Being home before midnight? Ooh.
それに素直に喜ばしかったな。この場所を誇るよ。
Yeah.
大切な居場所だと言ってくれた。
He's happy.
やはり琴音はアンシャンテを守ってくれる素晴らしい人です。
Thank you. I'm glad. Because you won't get rid of me so fast. I finally realized what it was that I said in the heat of the moment. There were no lies, and I have no regret for saying what I did. But it's starting to feel so embarrassing. Oh no, baby. A little time had passed after the recent incident. In an effort to cool me down after all the excitement, I drank some iced coffee. So, considering today marked a new beginning for Enchanté, I'm glad I was able to finally say goodbye to that place.
それは言えてるかもね。君にとっては異世界より何より元職場の方が怖い場所だったわけだし。
Yeah, compared to my last boss, alternate worlds and non-humans, none of that stuff holds a candle to how scary that was.
現地を見ずしてその判断はさすがに早計だと思うが。
知識にないからこそなのでしょう。その本質を知らなければどう恐怖すればいいのかも理解できませんし。
That's one way to sound cryptic as fuck. So I said that because I don't know. Sure, that may be true.
それじゃ行ってみたらいいんじゃない？
Yes, yes, yes. Huh?
また適当なこと言いやがって。面倒なことに
Show
な
me
る
the
の
world,
目に
show
見
me
え
the
てるじゃん。
world, show me the world. I can show you the world. I have never seen Elden in my life.
先ほどリンドウから提供された情報をまとめるに、我々の故郷の中で比較的安全かつ観光。
Following the smiling Misha, the one Ignis and Il turned their eyes towards was my phone dying. Please don't die. Phone, don't die. Following the smiling Misha, yeah, I read that.
我の故郷、妖精界メディオか。
Yes. Let me see some fairies. The instant Edward's name came up, Mr. Riddle leaned forward, flustered. Huh?
君たち行くってそれもしかしなくても。
Let's go! Road trip!
そりゃもちろん異世界ですとも。せっかく徒歩0分の高立地なんだし、有効活用しなきゃ損じゃない。
Yes, 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 yes.
それに
yes,
ほら
yes, yes.
百聞は一見にしかずって言うし、レッツゴー異世界へってね。
Let's go! Isekai! What? Let's go. Let's go. To my grandpa in heaven, your grandchild has just officially taken over Enchanté. Now she's about to literally step foot into an unknown world. Ooh. Oh, chapter 4. Nice. Why does he have donuts? Ah! Okay, we're gonna continue reading. It's only 9. I've only been streaming for an hour and a little. Oh. Wait.
青ざめた死は
Is the reason we're going that way because we're going his route? No, it's still a main chapter. Okay. Pallid Morse, the pale hand of
等し
death.
く訪れ扉を
Oh,
叩く
oh, oh. Is that Latin?
貧しき者が住む小屋も王者が住まう宮殿もそうただ一切の区別なく
Okay.
カヌス・エスパーダ。
Hi, who are you?
これからそなたには先代の役目を継いでもらう。
Okay.
辛い役割じゃ。あるいは女王であるわしよりも重く苦しい立場かもしれぬ。
Oh my god, I love her.
誰も喜ぶことなく、誰からも感謝されず、むしろ忌避の対象にもなるじゃろう。少なくとも先代はそうじゃった。
There's no head.
それでもそなたは先代と同じ道を歩んでくれるであろうか。
それがこの世界を妖精界メリオを守るためならばもとより我はそのために生まれた身ならば朽ち消え果てるその瞬間までその責務を全うすることを誓おう。
そなたは
I like her eyebrow.
いやカヌス、そなたの忠誠に深く感謝しよう。
承知した。
I hope we get a full body shot of her, because I want to see just how much hair that is. She did not need to explain this to me. She did not need to confirm my acceptance. The only reason I was born was to accomplish this one thing. Yet, the queen spoke with me out of the kindness of her heart. At the same time, it is cruel. What? Yes, I understood it more than anyone. The Fairy of Death. This name was the embodiment of the inescapable duty bestowed upon me. Oh. Oh no, so this is just to show. Okay. The moment I stepped into the gate, I immediately felt like I was floating, constantly rising, constantly falling. As if I was inside a pool of water, my body was enveloped and it felt a pressure. Ooh. Suddenly, a rush of wind made roughish sand blew in from my side. What? Huh? An eerie sound was whispering to me along with the dry wind grazing my ear. As if seized by the sound, I felt a strange weight on my arms. My body began tilting and I felt like I was being pulled downward. What the huh? I didn't know what it was. I felt an extreme chill and threw off the weight in desperation. And then, my body became light. I felt like I was being thrown up into space and... Crash landing. Hit by the sudden force of gravity, I slammed into something very hard. Ow. My vision was shaky after the impact. I was able to pick myself up somehow. There, the scene I saw was... Oh, wow. Amazing. Verdant greens and flowers beyond sight. That's a big tree. Giant trees that touch the heavens. Hell yeah. Roads that stretched endlessly and were colored with light shining through the trees. What is that? It looks like a whale. Huh? Looking at my surroundings more carefully, I saw all sorts of mysterious things that I'd never seen before. They were all part of some strange place I never would see back at home. It was as if, yeah. I'm in another world. No shit. Really? Are you now? Wait, that's right. This is... I come back to my senses. My memory of what had just happened before being thrown out here had gotten hazy. The tea party the other day. It all started during a certain part of the conversation we were having. What do you mean the other day? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm in a cafe anymore.
有効活用しなきゃ損じゃない。それにほら、百聞は一見にしかずっていうし。
True, I probably also wouldn't believe it. I'd be like, wow, am I dreaming?
でね。
Pinch his cheek. And that was that. A suggestion from Monsieur who made the whole ordeal sound like a day trip.
確かに妖精界メディオは気候も穏やかで
Yeah.
危険な生物もほとんどこの場の面々の中でという意味なら一番危険が少ないとは思う。
Yeah. Besides, Candace caught a little off guard from suddenly having to speak.
じゃ、決まりだね。いやー、出発が楽しみだな。おやつにバナナとか用意しなくちゃ。
Why? Bananas?
なんでバナナだよ。すぐ出発っていつだよ。
明朝で良いのではないでしょうか。今日となると今から向かっても大した時間は滞在できないでしょうし。
No, this is a flashback, so we're still in the cafe going like, okay, this is what we talked about yesterday. This game does it a lot. They throw you into a new thing, they say 2 sentences, and then they give you a flashback of what happened, so you ended up where you end up. That's why it's a little more brownish, the entire text box and stuff.
そうね。というか、よくよく考えたら、俺たちもそこそこ付き合いあるのに、お互いの世界って行ったことないもんね。
You guys have known each other for thousands of years. Hundreds of years at least, some of you.
うんうん。ことでもきっと楽しめるし、アンシャンテとしては画期的なイベントじゃない？
Okay, I've also known a few friends for a long time and I've never visited them. I'm not one to speak. Huh? You really think so?
ほらほらそこの楽しそうな魔王様。
I was just starting to get caught in the rush of everyone talking about the strip when Mr. Rino pumped the brakes.
そうやって気軽に彼女を異世界に引き込まないでくれるかな。
Oh.
こっちのことを知りたいっつったのはこいつだし、別にいいじゃないか。
Who? Who do you mean? What did my automod do? What's that mean? Huh? Add permitted term ho. Oh! Ho is on my automatically. Why? Why is Ho on? I have no clue. Ho. Hee ho.
だとしても何も直接行く必要はないでしょう。さっきも言ったけど人間は脆いんだ。君たちの世界の普通が致命的なことだったなんてのもザラだ。
Come with us then if you're so fucking scared, bro. You have a gun. I want to see you go against some kind of fairy with a gun. Do it.
あのソーアンさんだって君たちの世界までは干渉
He's
し
an
な
old
かったで
man.
しょ。
He was an old man.
ソーアンはそもそもデブ症でしたから、異世界に遠足なんざめんどくせえと言っていた記憶があります。
I didn't really expect that. The grandpa I always imagined would have dived headfirst into another world. As the excitement in the room grew, Canis clapped his hands.
お前たち盛り上がるのは結構だが 当の本人が面食らっているではないか。
I want his gun to be absolutely useless. Like him.
行くか行くまいか、それを決めるのは琴音自身だろう。
Kana's comment causes everyone to look towards me.
ああ、確かに。ごめんことね。きっと喜んでくれると思って意思確認を怠っちゃった。
I mean, I'm all for it. What? Oh no, I was honestly interested after hearing everyone talking about it. I replied in a fluster. Maybe talking of his homeworld was the reason for it, but Kana seemed to become quite pensive for a moment before speaking.
ミシェルの言うこともリンドウの言うこともどちらも正しいと我ら人外についての見聞を広め知識を得るためにはまたとない機会だとは思うが、リンドウの言うように危険もまた数多くある。比較的安全な妖精界メリオでさえも
Well, yeah, I mean, you're coming with me, right? It's not like you guys will just push me into the world and go, oh, well, have fun. Bye. Right?
それでもあなたは異世界へと渡ることを望むか
Right? I deliberated for a moment. As Mr. Reno said, I could still learn about other worlds within Enchanté, and the fact that Grandpa never stepped foot into another world might even be more of a reason for me not to go. However, I want to go. Yeah, boy. It's not like I don't get anxious thinking about going somewhere so unknown, but still, I have to see it for myself, Kana's world and everyone else's too. I want to know more about them. These feelings pushed me one step forward.
そうか。ならばせめてアンシャンテのマスターたるあなたに害がないよう真摯に努めるとしよう。
Also, I'm not buying that the grandma was completely normal, 100% human. Or like, not involved with something that was not human. She just needs to avoid screaming obnoxiously. She bumps into some kind of fey creature, and it's just a, why are you running? Ah! Why are you running? And after that, Mr. Reno was against the idea until the very end, thinking of my safety. His refusal was overturned by the group. Yes! No Rindo rights here. He eventually agreed with the proposition, but only if he was able to join as well. I mean, that's what I've been saying from the start, just go with us. The morning after, with our representative, Canis leading us, we all went through the gate. Yeah. And now we're here. So this is really Canis' homeworld, the fairy world Medio. Yeah. Oh. After having to narrow my eyes from the light so bright that poured from the trees. Wow, I'm really in another world. I finally internalized my current situation. And I wanted to see everyone's excitement, so I turned around and... Oh, yeah. So we lost everyone, huh? There was no one there. That's unfortunate. I looked around, figuring they would be easy to spot, but I couldn't see anyone around me at all. They were nowhere to be found. Not only that, I didn't even see the gate that we had just passed through. Gee, I wonder if that was whatever kind of weird interference we had earlier. Huh? Canus? Monsieur? Ian? Ignis? Mr. Rindo? No answer. Is this really Medio? Yeah, we had an entire text calling it that. Don't worry, at least you are in that world. No worries. I began to lose assurance in that fact, but it was Canis who held the doorknob as we went through the gate. Enchanté's gate still had many mysteries behind it, but there were a few facts that were clear. Though it does connect to countless other worlds, the world you travel to is dependent on who opens the door. Mysterious door set at the back of Enchanté connected to other worlds. Basically, it connects the location related to whoever opens it. In other words, the world of origin. The details and why it's in Enchanté are unknown. You bought that out. Okay. Thank you. We're not romancing anyone tonight, I feel. But still. Thank you for coming. That being the case, so long as Canis was the one who opened it, this should definitely be his homeworld. What do I do? Could something have happened when we went through? Is it possible that this isn't Meteor and in a completely different world all alone? The excitement I was just feeling was being painted over with anxiety. No, that can't be. Anyway, calm down, take a deep breath. There are things I can still do. If I try to walk off somewhere, it's possible I get even more lost. Right, I wait here a little bit, and if no one comes, I walk just a bit. And checking just in case I take out my phone, but as I'd expected, no signal. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I waited there for 30 minutes, but I didn't see any of them come by. The weather didn't change, and the only thing I heard was the gentle sound of birds singing in a beautiful landscape. Alright. I tied a handkerchief I brought to the branch of a very obvious tree near where I arrived. It's better than nothing, I guess. Someone from Enchanté could pass by here and they might notice it. Thankfully, there weren't many paths that split from here. Even if we did happen to miss each other, no one could miss this handkerchief. Next time I come to an alternate world, I should bring a whiteboard or a notebook or something. Bring some breadcrumbs. I ponder what may or may not come in handy in an unnecessary discourse with myself. Okay, let's get going. Making my decision, I begin walking along a path in a strange, distant world. Some time passed as I walked on. I squint intermittently. Can you use easier words? Game. I squint intermittently toward the sunlight coming through the trees. I looked around at this unfamiliar world. I wonder how far this forest, I guess it's more of a grove, goes on for. The flower beds seem to stretch forever. Endless greenery surrounds me. Robust leaves growing above me in every direction resemble a verdant plumage. There are plenty of places in the human world that are full of nature, but then there's that whale-like animal? It's just floating in the sky. Best of all, even as a forest, this place has a feeling so unfamiliar to my world. There was like a tangible purity about it. I'm sure I would have enjoyed the scenery a lot more with everyone else. Unfortunately, I haven't caught a hint of where anyone might be. Maybe I really was tossed somewhere that isn't Meteor. I really hope not. Muttering to myself and considering that possibility. Hi. In between the rustling of the leaves came the faint sound of laughter. Tangible, with more of a zzz sound. Okay. Wafting toward me were creatures small enough to fit in the palm of my hand. With this particular type of thing, I didn't have to wonder if they were human or not. They had pointed ears, translucent bodies, and a pair of shimmering rings on their back. Even before I stepped foot in this world, they were how I always imagined. Fairies? Hi. I am from Earth. If there are fairies here, then this really has to be Meteor. Oh, thank God! At the very least, it seemed like I evaded the worst possible outcome of being completely lost in another world. I was so relieved to see anyone, that I collapsed and sat on the ground. Oh, there's... Aww. The designs are cute. I like them. The fairies questioned me, landing on my shoulders and curiously poking at my cheeks. They engrossed in their curiosity. I didn't detect a hint of caution from them. I could speak to them without reservation. Once you enter another world, you'll be able to speak its language, and the people will be able to understand you. Nice! Meteor wasn't kidding. Trying to resist the tickling sensation from the hands of these girls, I managed to open my mouth and say something. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm okay. I was just so relieved. Oh, well, I got separated from my friends who came here with me. I was trying to find them when...
それは私たちも知ってる妖精?
Ah, I think if we mention Kano's name, they run away. They're like, what? You're friends with someone like that? Oh, I see. Maybe these two don't understand that I'm a human or even what a human is. Well, I came here from another world, through a gate. My species is human, but do you know what that is?
ああ、私知っているわ。石と鉄の世界でしょ。女王様が見てみたいって話していたのを聞いたことがあるわ。
Okay. The Queen. I wonder who that is.
あなたは異界からのお客さんなのね。メディオへようこそ。きっと好きになってもらえるわ。おいでおいで、異界のお嬢さん。私たちと一緒に遊びましょう。そうよ。とっても楽しい遊び場があるの。特別にあなたを連れて行ってあげるわ。
That's nice. Play. I'm searching for my friends, so...
さあ、行きましょう。行きましょう。
Well, I'd rather play with some fairies than I'm bound to be found by someone. Oh, wait. The little hands pull vigorously at my fingers. What should I do about these two? They're not listening to me, really. They're like children, just talking about whatever they want. I think if I try to shake them off of me, they might get hurt, considering the size of my hand against their small bodies. All I could do was follow the fairies. As I was being pulled along... The screen goes dark. What finally came into my view was crystalline water falling from so high up that the sound was almost violent. Waterfall is an understatement. It's a giant, endless cascade of water.
綺麗でしょ。気持ちいいでしょ。私たちのお気に入りなの。みんな大好きな場所なのよ。
Understandable. The wind sputters the water spray everywhere. With the water spraying about without end, a large rainbow was drawn across the sky. Taken in by the marvelous fantastical scene, I stepped forward to take a closer look. When I finally came back to my senses, that's right, I'm still lost. I need to find everyone else before I can begin to enjoy how lovely all of this is. This place really is wonderful, but I have find everyone. I appealed to the fairies floating gently in the air, or at least I tried. Of a different game's fave. Which one?
さあ、それじゃ異界のお嬢さん。
Please don't ask me to fly.
あなたも飛びましょう。
Fuck! Huh? I was nudged gently from behind. Without a moment to ask a question, my body was thrusted up into the air. Yeah, why did I expect this? I look down and see the bottomless basin of the waterfall rushing closer, ready to swallow me whole. I was pushed off. I was fully enveloped in terror before being able to understand that was what happened. Huh? What? No. At this rate, I'll die. Hi! Within the thick spray of mist, I was able to see that black suit of armor clearly. That figure that was unmistakably a knight reached its arms out and pulled me in. Canis. You can fly, right? Get out! The lake is already... Okay. As the water began to take over my entire span of vision, I latched myself to his body. Carrying my waist firmly with a single arm, he used his other free hand to glow. Oh. To unsheath a giant sword and thrust it into the cliff closest to us. He's a fairy and he can't fly? My body was subjected to a violent jolt, but the speed we were falling was slowing.
琴音、無事か？
I think so. I didn't hit the water too hard, thanks to your protection. Taking me by the hand, Kainos guides me to the shore. My clothes were drenched and I began to wring them out. I take a look around. I can't believe a shoreline like this existed around that base blah blah blah. Ah, I see, yeah. Huh? Wait, what did the game say? Ring. Oh. Wow! See? I'm desensitized to the typos. I don't even see them anymore. It was a beautiful sight, but I couldn't give myself a moment to take in its splendor when a giant waterfall almost killed me. Kainos, are you okay? Are you hurt at all?
問題ない。あの程度でどうにかなるほど、やわな鍛え方はしていない。
That's fair. I see. That's comforting at least. Thank you for saving me. After giving my late thanks, Kainos' flame at his neck turns into a color of discomfort.
同胞の無礼を謝罪こそすれ。礼を言われることは。
So dark blue is discomfort? Compatriots. Just then. Get out of here. From within the spray of the waterfall, two tiny figures come dancing toward us. The fairies who pushed me off into the waterfall had smiles on their faces. Even now as we meet again, they seemed like such children.
どうだった？とっても気持ちよかったでしょ？
I almost died.
そして綺麗だったでしょ？きっと喜んでくれると思ったの。
I almost died. What? I should have known that they didn't actually care about my response despite asking me. But more than that...
残念。カムスエスパーダが来ちゃったわ。とっても怖い妖精。だから続きはまた今度。
I will not start making a list for this one. I'm already, you know. I told you about the other one. The color Malice thingy, so I'm just giving up at this point. What was the line? Come and play, for the night is bright and you can sleep when you're dead. Ooh. Making sure not to look towards Kainos, they continue to pay attention only to me.
また会えたら遊びましょうね。
Only if you don't like kill me
今度は別の場所に
or
行きま
try
しょ
to
う。
kill me, please.
私たちが案内してあげるから。
It is. I will wring you guys by the neck. They laughed and snickered as they flew off, disappearing shortly after. I turned to Kainos, expressing my bewilderment. With his hand to his helmet, it seemed like he was about to have a headache.
すまね。あの妖精らは本当にあなたに対して悪意など持っていなくてな。純粋にあなたを喜ばせようと、ただ遊んでいるだけのつもりだったのだ。
That was play.
ああ、精神が幼い妖精たちは人間の脆さをろくに知らない。いや、それ以前に自由気ままな性分なのでな。自分がしたいことにしか興味がないのだ。
I think we saw
そ
that.
して好きに遊んだ結果、それが何を引き起こすか考えもせず。
No thoughts. Head empty. Danger thoughts. Head full. Oh, I see. They're children. They're kids who just want to play. Considering how strong they were, having that kind of innocence is terrifying. I'm so fucking tired. A shiver ran down my spine as I imagined what might have happened if Kainos hadn't come. I am so fucking tired. I pay $60 for this professionally translated game from a very professional company. Like Automate is a very well-established professional company that makes games. This is not a fan game. This is not a fan-translated game. This is an officially licensed fucking product. Why do they not care? Why? And why do I continue to give access fucking money for these games? That's another one for the F-bomb counter. A shiver ran down my spine as I imagined what might have happened if Canis hadn't come. After spending a few minutes with Canis, the old group I was so desperate to find finally gathered.
カヌスがいきなり駆け出した時は何事かと思ったけど、君が無事でよかったよ。
イグニス、もう少し炎を強めては彼女の体が冷えてしまいます。
俺は焚き火代わりかよ。たく。まあ今回は特別だ。とっとと服乾かせ。
Hell yeah. Just be put on it. Okay, thanks. I bring my body closer to the fire that Ignis made at a safe distance, of course. I guess it's another sort of strange power of non-humans. My soaking clothes slowly began to dry with the help of his flame.
けど本当によかった。君がいないって気づいた時、僕は心臓が止まるかと思った。
His face. I'm sorry to make you worry, Mr. Rindo and everyone. By the way, did you all come out at the same place?
我が普段から使っているゲートの前に無事集まっていたな。
Stay at a safe distance from this fire. Everything's on fire. So if everyone else got through the gate normally except for me, so me being separated like that isn't something that normally happens. I heard a strange noise when I went through and I felt as if I was being pulled away.
音ですか？
詳しく聞かせてくれる？
Yeah. From when I stepped foot into the gate until I was thrown out into the fairy world, everyone listened with serious expressions on their faces as I explained what happened.
妙だな。ゲートは幾度も利用しているが、今までそんな現象が起きた覚え
It's
は。
probably because some kind of weird power doesn't want you dead. Or your soul. Who knows?
俺もねえな。妖精界は接続が不安定とか、そういう話じゃねえのか。
Maybe Meteor doesn't want women to come here.
まさか、そのような危険があれば、とっくに皆へ話している。
GPM でも報告例がない現象だね。
彼女が人間だからでしょうか？
No.
いや、それも考えづらいね。だってそれなら、普段から異世界と
メディア
仕事に
セックス
してるうちの調査班は、今頃行方不明者だらけだ。
Looks like it. Mishir, do you know where this might have happened?
俺にもわからないけど、一つ言えるのは、今後もし君が通ることがあれば、気をつけた方がいい。
Every single one of you needs to hold my hand. My two hands. I have two hands. I can. This will work out. Next time we step through the gate.
誰かと手をつないで入るとか、警戒するに越したことはないと思う。
I'm gonna shut up now. Right. At the end of our conversation, we were no closer to knowing what was the cause. The eerie noise, the terrifying sensation of being pulled away somewhere. I didn't want to feel that again. No, that's just scary. Each of them just carries one limb? What is this, corpse party? Say the name 3 times. And pull. I didn't want to feel that again.
にしても、お前といい俺らといい、こっちに来てから災難続きだな。
Preferably attached, yeah. Huh? Did something happen with you all too?
お前ほどの不運じゃねえけどよ。
どうもイグニスや私はこちらの世界では本来の力が出せないよ
Oh
う
no,
で
they
した
got nerfed. Huh? Once he finished, I looked over Eel and Ignis. It didn't seem like there was much different with Eel, however. Huh? Ignis, is it me or is the flame around your body weaker? Ignis gave me a disgruntled frown as I made my observation known.
異世界同士の交流。僕も報告書では見たことがあったんだけど、どうも人外たちは自分の故郷以外の異世界に来ると若干弱体化しちゃうみたいなんだ。
Eel's like, damn it, they nerfed me. Wow, really? I glanced toward Mishir.
あははは俺は例外影響ゼロ
Are you sure?
世界の垣根すら超える最強チートな魔王様ってねどんな世界も楽勝で壊滅だぞ
僕としては君に一番おとなしくなってほしかったよ。
また当然ながら、メディオを故郷とする我は従前の力を発揮することができる。
Yeah, that makes sense. Cadus moves his body, producing the tough, steadfast sounds of a mighty suit of
本来なら
armor.
ば我の足の速さはイグニスに劣るのだが、
速攻で置いてかれたぜ。くそ、こんなんじゃ喧嘩売られても思う存分暴れられねえじゃんか。
I feel like you shouldn't be visiting other worlds trying to fight people, but it made sense to me. It's why Canis was the one who was able to rush over to me first.
私は少々飛びづらくなった程度ですので、そこまで不便はしていませんが、
Oh, I see.
やはり原因は世界を構成する物質や循環エネルギーが異なるせいでしょうね。
I tilted my head in response to the odd choice of words that came from Eel. Canis and Michi followed up with some more information to clarify.
俺たちのアスモディアでいうところの魔力かな。マナとも呼ばれるけど、
Yeah.
わかる。
Mana and ether and blah blah. Too many alkali metals in here. Oh yeah, that's what people in games and stuff use as a source of power. She's a gamer. She just a little. Wait, what do you mean? Notes? Where?
俺たちのアスモディアでいうところの魔力。
Oh my fucking
マ
god,
ナと
you're
も
right.
呼ばれるけど、わかる。
Yeah. It's also no. I'm so goddamn tired. Oh yeah, hold on, huh?
ささ、魔界や魔族はその名の通り
Frustrated.
魔力で世界やその身を構築するんだけど、
Demons in the demon world are constructed out of the same
メ
magic.
リオの場合、
Oh wait,
魔
why
力
am
と
I
は
reading
違
it?
う別の力が世界を支えるエネルギーなんだよね。
Canis gives a single nod.
明確な故障はないがな。自然の恩恵がそのまま世界を安定させていると考えるべきか。
Is it?
ベスティアには多分んな小難しいもんなんて存在しねえぞ。特に意識したことねえけどよ。
であれ
Head
ば、
empty.
イグニスの場合はエネルギーがある環境に不慣れなのでしょう。
Hmm.
例えるのならば、濃密すぎる空気に参っているのでは？
ああ、そりゃあるかもな。ここに来てからずっと甘ったるい匂いがしてて、胸焼けしてるみてえなんだよ
I see.
しかし例外的に人間界ではあまり能力が劣ることはない。不思議なものだな。
It's probably because the human world just has no trace of magical energies of any kind, so balances out or
まあ
something.
まあ、そのあたりの原因究明は置いといて、ちょっと真面目な話をしようか。
Now that my clothes had dried, Mr. Rindo began to speak with a stern voice.
さっきは不運が重なったこともあるけど、異世界の危うさは理解できたでしょ。
Okay.
比較的安全、そう言われるメディオだってこれなんだ。僕たち人間の常識は何一つ通じやしない。
It could be
異
worse.
世界を知るという意味なら、それを理解しただけでも十分じゃない。
Brah. Come on, we need to at least say hi to the queen, right?
もうアンシャンテに帰らないかい？
No.
危険な目に遭わせた身としては反論的。
No.
あなたが望むのならばすぐにでも引き返すが。
They all seemed to wait for my word, as I was seen as a victim in all that happened. No one spoke. It was silent. It really was a terrifying experience. If Candace hadn't made it in time, I honestly believe I could have died. Knowing I could run into more fairies like those two out in our travels, just the thought, as beautiful as the scenery around me was, it was equally terrifying. Grandpa himself always said at Enchanté, he never left to visit another world. Being the new owner of the cafe doesn't mean I need to visit my patron's worlds. And yet, Unless... I'm sorry. I was apologizing, but it wasn't for what had happened. I want to stay a little longer.
それはまたどうして？
Well, if I leave right now, the trip will end with me thinking that Kane's homeworld is scary, and I just don't want that. Also, the only reason I had that experience was because I was alone. If everyone else stayed with me, I'm sure my impression of this place would change.
リンド、君が彼女と同じ感性を持つ人間だっていうのなら、友人の故郷を悪い思い出だけで埋めたくないって彼女の気持ちは理解できるんじゃない？
それは。
それに危険だったと言ってもやや高所から落下しかけただけでは。
I could have died.
いや、それだけではないが。
また先のような強制隔離では致し方ないのかもしれない。
Mister, I have 6 wings on my back. I could have died because I cannot fly.
こうして我々が揃っている以上、彼女に危険が及ぶという事態は想定しづらいものだと判断します。
Fair. Ew.
ま、つまり箱入りが言いてえのは、俺たちが全員揃ってりゃ危険もクソもねえだろって話だ。
Hell yeah. Whoops, that's the wrong button.
ガネス、お前だってそうだろ。自分がそばにいるなら同じような目には合わせねえ。
ああ、当然だ。我がそばにいる限りは必ず守りきると保証しよう。
Thank you. Canis looks right at me as he speaks. As he speaks. Canis, thank you.
こちらこそ我が故郷を理解しようとしてくれて。
Cute. I'm so sad. His root apparently doesn't have a kiss CG because obviously there's no face, but still I'm sad.
あなたが望むのならば引き続きこの世界を案内するとしよう。
Canis bows his head deeply in respect, with his whole body leaning forward, putting his hand to his chest and giving his pledge. He was the perfect image of a loyal knight. Ah, look, there's a door. Eventually, Mr. Reno was also persuaded to come along as well, so we would continue our journey in Medio. But we would first need to choose a meeting place in case we got separated again. We walked to Medio's gate, which I missed earlier since I was separated from the group. If our group gets split up again, I just need to come back to the spot. Knowing that makes me rest easy. Wow, there really is a gate here. It looked like a painting, seeing the gate standing in the woods. I wasn't sure, but it almost looks like the one at Enchanté. Actually, it looks exactly like it. Does it say open on that one, or is it just some random design thing? Not sure.
カエルムにあるのも全く同じデザインですね。
ベスティアもだな。
There has to be some big dark secret behind the door. And why it's in the human world. There's gotta be. I'm suspicious of everything this game throws at me. These gates connect us to other worlds. I understand how amazing they are now, having gone through one myself. It's still a mystery what they really were. What I do know, however, is that they are very rare, such that only one exists in every alternate world. Ooh. The gates of the worlds where the regulars come through or connect to Enchanté. Yet gates in other worlds connect to places other than the human worlds, or so reports say from the GPM. Why there are several in the human world, yet only one in each alternate world, also why these gates in particular are fixed to only go to the human world, investigations on this are inconclusive. The gates seem to be unknown to non-humans aside from Mishi and the group, and because of this, other non-humans haven't used them. Well... As I was contemplating these curious things running through reasonings I've overheard.
では、ここを起点とし、進むとしよう。
Like, even if you don't know about it, wouldn't people come across them? Yeah, right? Wouldn't people come across them and go, oh, I wonder what that is, and then... You know? Or maybe there's some weird barrier around them as well. That we just don't know of. Yeah, that does make sense. After deeming us the meeting spot, we set off. With Canis leading the way, we entered the forest once again. Wow, this area is so different from where I was. The spot I was in seemed much more level.
ってことはやっぱり俺たちとはかなり離れた場所に放り出されたんだね。
道理で 琴音を探知するのに時間がかかったわけです。
Oh, can
ミ
you?
ラ、足元に気をつけてくれ。この辺りは道が細い。
Maybe they are indestructible for some reason. Plot reasons. Watching my steps after his warning, the eerie sound of wind getting sucked into the valley below battered at my ears. I'll be careful.
ま、仮に落ちても3回に1回は助けてやるよ。
Thanks, man. Very reassuring to know. I hope you save me the other 2 times too, please. I'm sure if I fall even once, I'll be headed straight to the afterlife, though.
リンドウの場合は追加で有料な。
Yes.
僕だけ冷遇しすぎじゃ
Give
ない
me all your money, old man. I took a moment during our playful chatter to look at the scenery above me. Flower petals were dancing in the wind, seemingly full of life, grazing the branches. Wow, if it wasn't so dangerous, Meteor would be such a serene and gorgeous place. As I was lost in thought, Canis stops.
ちょうどいい時間だな。そのまま見ているといい。面白い光景が見られるぞ。
Oh. Interesting. Something odd began to happen around me. Huh? The seasons were changing instantly. I was speechless as the trees around me began changing colors one after the other.
おお、すごいすごい。
Uh,
葉が一斉に変化を。これはどのような仕組みで？
このメリオと人間界では時の流れがいささか異なっている。メリオという世界は朝につぼみが開き、昼には葉がより青く染まり、夕方に紅葉を迎え。
it's kind of fast.
なるほど。人間界の1年をわずか1日で繰り返してるってことかな。
では、夏の流星が見て取れる今は昼に近い時間というわけですね。
Oh, wow. The fairies were evidence enough that this place was completely abnormal, but time flows here in a way that makes an entire year pass by in the matter of a day. Fairies lived among the twisting branches and the trunk at the center. This feeling of wonder keeps sinking in as I walk. The fact that this world is one that doesn't follow the conventions of my own.
メディオを満喫しているようで。
Excuse me.
あなたが客人を連れてくるとは正直驚いていますよ。
That's a voice I know from somewhere, but I cannot place it. I hear the sounds of leaves being crushed. Standing there was a figure with androgynous features who didn't seem to belong to either. However, their beauty was completely ruined by the expression showed. They seemed ready to express how disgusted they were feeling.
ようこそいらっしゃいました。
Hi.
見知らぬ世界からのお客人。
Hi.
僕は妖精女王に仕える宰相のベンニーユ。あなた方の来訪を歓迎します。
I don't think it's worth even asking at this point.
おい、あいつ今舌打ちしたぞ。
歓迎だそうです。どうやらこの方は私たちに友好的なようですね。
いやいや、絶対違うから。こんなに嫌そうな歓迎します。
いいえ、そんなことはありません。歓迎します。しますとも、表面上は。
Oh,
たとえあ
okay.
なた方がどう見てもうさんくさい色物の集団であろうと、女王陛下の命令である以上、しっかりと歓迎いたしますよ。
絶対嘘じゃん。面白いなこの子。
It was an impressive scene. Everyone looked like they were at a loss of what to do. It was Canis who finally spoke out to them.
ベンニーヤ、女王の命令とは。
Venia, a fairy of Media with an androgynous appearance, the chancellor serving the fairy queen. Although polite, Venia has quite a sharp tongue. What part of that was polite?
そのままの意味ですよ。女王陛下が異世界からの客人に会いたいと 大変血迷ったことを言っ
I
ておら
don't
れる
think
の
you should talk like that about your queen. They're from the same world and I was sure they knew one another. Vinya's shoulders droop as Canis asked his question. Her Majesty the Queen. I'm really struggling. I am really struggling if I should try and finish this chapter because I have no clue how long it's going to be. I see. Yeah, I mean, the speech pattern is polite, but what they're actually saying isn't really because of the remarks. Because technically this chapter only has two options, but also, oh well, I'm just gonna read a little more and we'll see how far we can get. Does Fairies on the Waterfall also mention something about the Queen? Why is Queen sometimes with capital letters and sometimes not? Like the first letter capitalized? Oh, so would you say that Meteor is under the rule of a monarchy?
この妖精界メディオは妖精女王と呼ばれるものが全ての妖精を
Or like
束ね
if
て
it's a title, it's gonna be capitalized. Yeah, right.
つまりその女王様から直々のお誘いってこと？
German Baron be like, you need to capitalize everything.
だからそう言っているでしょう。言語の理解力か頭の中身に致命的な問題でもあるのですか？
Bro.
なんだろう。ものすごく心が痛いな。
Yeah, they speak of elegance, but what they actually say is horrible.
ということで、誠に勝手ながら、僕についてきていただけますか？
Everyone turns their gaze towards me. I know they want me to make a decision, but what should I do? Yeah, well, follow them, obviously. What else would you want to do? The queen herself is inviting you. I could hear the ghost of my old boss yelling in my ear. Never turn down an invite from a higher up. Alright? She's going out of her way to invite us, so I'll happily accept the invitation.
女王もきっと喜ぶであろう。快楽を感謝する。
妖精界メディオを統治する存在。すごいな。そんな行為の方に謁見できるなんて。現金な反応で申し訳ないけど、こればかりは滞在を選択した琴音ちゃんのおかげだね。
アンシャンテのマスターとしても、あなた個人としても、有意義な出会いであればいいですね。
Yeah. Stop clicking your tongue.
ああ、これは失礼。しかし、空気の読めない返事を誠にありがとうございます。断ってくれればいいもの。まあ、いいです。
You should have just declared. Excuse me.
ついてきてください。
I'm a bit lost on what you're trying to make me do. Vinya didn't want us to be summoned, but had no choice that it was an order. Vinya, while expressing their attitude in every way except the words they spoke, begins to walk away. How did you get that job then? How did you become a chancellor? Vinya showed us the way, but I could really tell that they detested doing it. In any case, following Vinya's lead, we proceed further into the woods. The temperature had dropped suddenly. Meteor was tinted in a crimson sunset hue. As the sun continued to set, we traversed steep slopes and crawled over wooden walls. Barely getting by after the others continued to help me. Ooh, wow! Vinya finally stops.
さて、着きましたよ。
たくや
現状までに歩いた距離などを試算すると、かなりの高層階と見ましたが、メディオの建築技術は独特なのですね。
森の散策っていうより山登りって感じだったね。明日筋肉痛じゃないといいな。
ほんとここまでだいぶ歩かされたね。ことね、体力とか体調は平気？
Okay, I think though my legs feel like sticks right now. Taking Misha's hand to support myself, I took a second to manage my breathing.
こう言ったらなんだけど、僕たちを連れて行くのが嫌すぎて、諦めるのを待ってるのかと思ったよ。
失礼な。ここ妖精界メディオには当然ながら妖精でなければ本来通れない場所が多くあるのです。それをあなたたちの都合に合わせて誘導して差し上げたのですから、むしろ感謝していただきたい。
I need to look up who that voice actor is. Now that I finally caught my breath, I took a look around where we were. There, I couldn't quite tell what this place was we were in inside the fairy world. The space we entered seemed like there was just a large hole gouged. Go. I'm giving up. Out, especially for it. This is my hole. It was made for me. It was a strange place with large flowers blinking with lights strewn about. The scenery outside should look like fall, if I remember correctly, but the space alone looked like spring. As I was looking around...
ことね、女王に紹介しよう。こちらへ。
Yeah, we're just standing in the middle of the room, not even saying hello, I guess. With Candace pulling my hand, we proceed to the center of the open space, and there...
そなたたちが客人かい
In a gentle wafting breeze made with this girl's smile, it felt like the air surrounding us became infinitely sweet. It was like a throne of flowers.
妖精女王、ティターニアよ。
Well, of course,
彼
her
女
name's
がアンシャン
Titania.
テのマスター、淡き琴音だ。
Who else? What did I expect? In these gorgeous surroundings was enthroned a small queen, much smaller than what I had imagined.
わしの名はティターニア。この妖精界メディオにて
Oh
女
my
王を務め
god!
ておる。
I love her! She's the fairy queen who rules fairy world Meteor. She has the form of a cute young girl, but her speech and atmosphere are both dignified and graceful. She's so cute.
会えて嬉しく思うぞ。アンシャンテのマスターよ。
The little girl laughs cutely in a snicker. She looked as young as a child in grade
ご挨
school.
拶を。
It's nice to meet you. Canis always takes good care of me at Enchanté. I'm Kotone Awaki. I had no idea how to greet her properly. Not only were we in an alternate world, but I was in front of royalty too. I pitched forward as far as I could, bowing deeply for an eternity.
お世話されておるのか。それはまた面白い話を聞いた。の、カヌス。
Her hair is insanely long. Oh my god. I love the design. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
決してそういうわけでは。
なんじゃなんじゃ。ずいぶんとよそよそしいの、カヌス。
Oops. I raise my head and assume that Canis is being teased in this conversation. He doesn't seem pleased
後
about
ろの
that.
者たちもカヌスより話には聞いておるぞ。皆個性豊かな客人たちなのだとな。
少々豊かすぎる気もしますがね。
え、
魔王に打天使、魔獣にまとまりのない者たちです。
Keep dunking on Rindo. Keep dunking on him.
あれ待って、今僕のリアクションだけおかしかったよね。
Mr. Reno's comment was ignored by Vinya. As Misha stood next to me, he asked Titania a question.
それで女王様は俺たちのことをいろいろご存知みたいだけど、ここに俺たちを呼びつけた理由は、インギンブレイで面白いそこの子からは特に理由とか聞いてないんでね。
When words and attitudes are overly polite and can be impolite or even rude. Also, one can act polite on the surface but actually be looking down upon or disliking the other. In Vinya's case, it is certainly the latter. Misha, she's a queen. You should speak more politely to her.
そこ気にする。というか忘れてるかもだけど、一応俺も王様だからね。
True. Watching me in my panic, scolding Misha, the queen Titania snickers in a laugh that sounded like a ringing bell.
いやいや、自然な口調で構わぬよ。異世界の者に権力も何もあるまい。では質問に答えるとしよう。来てもらったのは他でもない。
Hmm.
話ですか？ 我々と。
さようじゃ。あのカヌス・エスパーダが友人と呼ぶ面々がこの世界に来た。と
へえ。
なれば挨拶の一つもしたくなるのは当然の流れじゃろ。
Oh, excuse me. I'm getting tired. Titania quickly glances at Canis. However, Canis just continues to watch over us, not responding in any way.
まあそれを別としてもメディオはめったに客が来ないこともあり、来ればもてなすものと決まっているのです。好奇心旺盛な妖精たちにとって異世界の話というのは最高の娯楽となりますから。
マジかよ。てめえの態度はもてなすって単語とは程遠いもんだった気がするんだが。
そんなバカな。僕としては誠心誠意のおもてなしをしましたが。
I think these two would fight. Like Ignis would start throwing punches and Vinny would just go, oops.
あれが精神誠意。
You can't hit me.
ということでな、もし時間が許すのであればぜひそなたたちの話を聞かせてほしい。
なるほど。それなら俺は特に反対する理由もないし、彼女がいいと言えば構わないよ。
I look toward everyone before speaking. Everyone either shrugs or looks away, uninterested, leaving it up to me. Glancing around at everyone, I open my mouth. Alright. From Titania, how do I put it? Although her appearance was youthful, there was a sweetness she exuded. I didn't feel the tiniest bit of ill will towards us. Oh, that's interesting. Most of all, she was kind. She was just simply kind. Even in this unpredictable world, I've been able to hold a nice conversation with her. I felt she was simply just a good person who I'd like to get to know better. We can answer what we're able to, although it may not be much.
そうか。ではしばし待っておくれ。宴の場を設けるとしようではないか。
Oh, sure. I like fun facts. It's always nice to see where some names come from. She must really want to talk with us. With a smile on her face, she nods and everything around us begins to shake. What's going on? As if responding to Titania, several small branches grew out from the walls and floors. The innumerable branches twisted together, changing their shape. The area around the center of the room became adorned with new furniture, with a huge long table and several chairs appearing around us. Wow, amazing!
興味深い力ですね。私やミシェルが行使するものとはだいぶ異なるようですが。
そうであろうな。ティターニアは火の力を借りているだけに過ぎ。
So does that mean that she can manipulate plants at will? Canis nods in affirmation.
さあさあ、お客人よ。好きな席に着くといい。それぞれ喉でも潤しながら、おのおのの話を聞かせておくれ。
I'm trying to see if this would be a good stopping point, even if it's not the end of the chapter, because I really have no clue how long it's going to be. You know what? I'm just gonna go until it's half past, and then no matter where we are, I'll stop because I am too tired to continue playing this game for much longer. Before offering, we move to the seats closest to us. However,
潤しながらっつってもコップの中身空じゃねえか。
well, just wait. A disgruntled Ignis picked up a wooden cup that was placed on the table, but he really did check that it was empty when he picked it up. He flipped it over.
ははあ、これはつまりあれだ。霞でも食べてろ的な。
Give her some time. Maybe she feel it.
そんなわけがあるまい。妖精は基本的に食事をせぬものじゃが、客人に茶を出す文化ぐらいはあるぞ。
Oh my god, they didn't. As Titania spoke in a faint smile.
あら、さっきのお嬢さん。さっきはごめんなさい。女王様からたくさん怒られちゃった。
Oh, it's you two. My body suddenly froze, but watching them both so sincerely, I felt like I needed to forgive them. Maybe this is just a human sentiment. I'm sorry too for not explaining to you what humans are. If you get a chance again, I hope we can do something safe after we're all done talking here, of course.
わかった。次は何をして遊ぼうかしら。
I have got a bad feeling. Did they really get what I was trying to say? Along with arcs of light, many other fairies came into the room. They take several of the flowers blooming around us in hand and fly toward me.
どうぞ。甘くてとっても美味しいのよ。
They begin to tilt their flowers over, and they begin to fill our cups with nectar.
さて、大したもてなしもできぬが、歓迎しよう。異界からのお客人、妖精界メディオの宴。どうかゆるりと楽し。
I'm sorry. The room echoed with laughter of the fairies, and the petals were dancing about. As the petals fall to the floor, they rise up again and continue to move up and down in a way as if having minds of their own.
よければおかわりをどうぞ。ねえねえ、人間界ってどんなところ？暑い？寒い？狭い？広い？
So the human world, it's a fairy banquet. It's something you might see in a fairy tale, but actually being here in one, only words of awe come to mind. You can't help but just be captivated by the glittering fairies, no matter how many times you look at them. I lost track of time continuing the banquet with fairies flying about as they pleased. After the fairies propped us for a while, the conversation slowed down a bit. I continued talking with the fairies. Thanks to Titania, my negative perception of the world started to change. Maybe I should try to talk more with the fairies while we're here. Though the fairies were happily flying about this way and that, so it seemed a bit tricky to get one to stop and chat. One seemed to hold still for a moment, surveying around closely. What I saw was...
なあ、お前らって強えのか？
強いって何？
あ？そりゃなんだ。敵をぶっ飛ばせる力のことで。
敵って何？
敵ってのは、自分に喧嘩売ってくるやつのこと。
喧嘩って何？蜜よりも美味しいもの？
Ignis hangs his head in defeat from his failed conversation with the fairy. Smiling to myself, I walked over to him. What the hell are up with those things? Look, my glasses are all the way down here. That's how I feel reading about those goddamn typos. It was like talking to little kids. Well, Canis did say those small fairies have minds like small children. Maybe they'd be more happy talking about what you do for fun. Well, that's in the past. Exasperated, Ignis places his emptied cup on a table close to him. Hey, where's Mr. Rindo, by the way? I thought he was with you. A what now? A photo shoot? I looked toward the direction Ignis gestured at. Oh no!
おお、いいね。もっとこう、くるっと踊るように回ってみて。いや、バッチリだよ。これは開発班の連中が泡吹きそうな記録になりそうだ。
I'm sure Mr. Reno intended to be working diligently, but he just looked like the weirdo. We all spent our time just as we wanted, including myself. Oh, In the corner of the hall, I saw Canis leaning against the wall and watching our festivities. Why are you not joining us, bro? Canis, I felt like I haven't seen much of you this past short while. I didn't know you were over here.
あなたか。宴は楽しめているだろうか。
Yes, very much. The hall is so beautiful and the nectar from the flowers is so delicious. And I feel like I've been able to let go of my fear of the fairies bit by bit.
そうか。ならば何か。
And he is green! Canis seemed to sigh under his helmet. Looking at his hands, he also wasn't holding a wooden cup. Huh? Canis, have you actually been over here the whole time?
我があの場に混じっては空気が悪くなるだろうな。
Hmm? Sour the mood? Sure, Canis wasn't the most talkative type, but he always took part in Enchanter's tea parties. It's not like he doesn't do well with these kinds of events.
ことね。
Hmm? What is it? I was so lost in thought that my response was
どうや
late.
らティターニアがあなたを呼んでいるようだ。話し相手になってはくれまいか。
After his comment, I looked down the hall to see... My eyes locked with hers as Titania sat on a throne of flowers, giving me a gentle smile. Hehehehe.
カヌスと話していたというのにすまぬな。しかしどうしてもそなたと二人きりでゆっくりと話してみたかったのじゃ。
As I slowly walk toward her, Titania greets me with a smile like a blossoming flower. A bit of a distance away from us. Oh, hi. Standing there emotionless was the one who called themselves a Chancellor Venia. That silence is spooky, but first I should talk to Titania who called me over. I just want to thank you for welcoming us so graciously. I truly appreciate it and I apologize for not greeting you sooner.
そうかしこまるな。そして最初に言うたであろう。自然な口調で構わんと。
Sure.
あの魔王相手でも敬語抜きで話しておるではないか。わし
Oh. Are you sure? She looks small, but the way Titania expresses herself has a regality to it that is undeniable.
もちろん様付けもいらんぞ。
She has fangs. I just noticed she has fangs.
も適当に呼ぶとよい。わしが許す。
How did you just pronounce that? Vasya? Clearly slumped her shoulders, likely hearing what she just said. Okay then, Titania.
うむうむ。やはり同じ女子に親しく呼ばれるのは嬉しいものじゃな。
Aww. Titania not satisfied and smiling, and my anxiety had melted
カ
away.
ヌスはアンシャンテでうまくやっているかな。
Yes, I was a bit surprised at his appearance when I first met him, but I'm completely used to it by now. He's a very honest and caring person, liked by plenty of other
そう
humans.
か。ならばよい。淡き宗安といったか。亡くなったというそなたの祖父ともども、アンシャンテには深く感謝しておる。
Gratitude.
あの店に行くようになってからカヌスは随分と丸くなったからの。そなたが継いでからの日常もこと細かく聞いておるぞ。
That might be embarrassing. I hope he doesn't go into too much detail about all of my failures in particular.
許してやっておくれ。それだけカヌスにとってあの店で過ごす時間は色濃く愛おしいものなのじゃろ。そなたのことを語るときも随分と優しい声色をしておる。
I see. I'm still just a half-baked cafe owner, but I was proud to continue protecting a place that Canis cherished enough to talk about so much with others.
ことね。少しばかりこちらへ来てはくれぬか。
Okay. Sure. I walked with her just as she
そ
asked.
なたたちの大切な場所を、皆に愛されるアンシャンテという場所を、
Like,
わしにも少しばかり。
I would, but I don't think it's a good idea to just take the queen and bring her to another world. I suddenly realized her small hand was grazing my cheek. And Titania's face slowly closes in on mine, and with a small bump our foreheads touch each other. With a bright light and a sweet scent, my consciousness was taken somewhere else completely. Oh, she's looking into her brain now. There's someone there, sitting in front of Grandpa. A really big person. Someone with real hard-looking clothes on.
そうなんだ。
Ah,
なんだよ。エスプレッソが冷めちまうからとっとと飲め。
いや、飲みたいのは山々なのだが、店の奥から視線を感じるのだ。あの柱の陰に隠れている小さな生き物は何だろうか。メディオの妖精に少々似ているが。
はあ？生き物だ？なんだよ、うちにはネズミなんて。あ、そうか。お前人間の子供を見るのは初めてか。
子供。今度はテーブルの下に隠れてしまったが。
逃げられちまったか。まあお前はその首なし状態と全身の鎧をなんとかしねえとな。あれだ、鎧に合わせてよ、適当に兜でもかぶればいいんじゃねえか。それこそ騎士っぽいじゃねえか。
兜をかぶることにあまり意義を感じぬのだが、それがこの世界の断りならばそうし。
おお。ん？いや、なんか物騒になっただけな気もするが、まあいいだろう、それで。上出来だ。
Grandma looks like he's having fun. Is that big person having fun too?
どうしたよ。
そうか。あれが人間界の子供。生まれた瞬間から性質も可能性も決められている我ら妖精とは大違いだ。素晴らしいな。あの魂からは無限の可能性を秘めた輝きを感じる。
Is that person Grandpa's customer too?
またこちらを見ているな。そう。
I mean, apparently this is from when she was young, so she actually doesn't.
お前は子守に向いてねえな。
Yes, and also, yeah, I have to say hi. In a snap, the world around me changes back. As I blinked my eyes, the image of Titania's gentle smile became clear before me. It is. Yeah, it is. Huh? Did you do something, Titania? I felt like my mind went blank. It didn't feel like anything really happened, but Titania didn't respond to me. Okay. She closed her eyes as she muttered softly, but I noticed. Titania, it's almost like you're a parent worrying about their child. Right, well, I suppose if I judged you by your looks, it would be the opposite. Sorry. Was that rude of me to say? Titania laughs, shaking her head. What? You're older than Karen? Why wouldn't you? Semantics. Also, you're tiny. I sure am. Me. Huh? So does that mean... Does that include those small fairies too? What a difference. Titania watches me, pleased as I react to every little thing she says. However, all of a sudden a shade cast upon her adorable smile. $174. Get it right. Titania. She said no.
いやすまぬ。昔のことを話していたら少々感傷に浸ってしまってな。ことね。どうかこれからもカヌスをよろしく頼むぞ。
I saw.
ああ見えたやつはいわゆる寂しがり屋というやつじゃからな。
You know me. I don't do round colors? Numbers. Okay, I can do that, but Canis really gets lonely?
少々茶目っ気を含めて言うただけであやつが孤独を嫌うのは事実じゃ。叶うならばわしもそばにいてやりたいが、わしはここを動けぬ身じゃからな。
Titania speaks in a sudden smile and taps her feet lightly. You mean because of your role here?
であればよかったのじゃが、物理的にな、わしはこの場を動くことができぬ。妖精女王というのはそういうものなのじゃ。
Oh, I know which ones you mean. I asked my question nonchalantly and was surprised by her reply. The queen became one of the throne bound to it for the rest of her life. No way.
すまんな、余計な話であった。それにこれは名誉なことでもある。そなたが気にする必要はないのじゃ。
My eyes hurt. Titania smiles. It's true, she doesn't seem necessarily crestfallen by the situation. Hey, Titania, is it okay if I come back? I'll bring some coffee from Enchanté. I'd like you to try some. Maybe taste some of Canis' favorites.
もちろんじゃ。いつでも歓迎するぞ、ことね。
I'm fine if I stay up until like 11 because I feel like we can maybe we can manage to finish this chapter as well. So I'm trying. The Queen of the Fairy World Meteor was far more than a child she appeared to be. I hate interrupting in the middle of somewhere and then it's really close to the end. She was in fact a dazzling, splendid woman. Yay. I continued to talk with Titania. After our conversation ran its course, I returned to where she met me. Ha! Candace isn't here.
カヌスなら会場から出て行きましたよ。お開きになるまでは戻ってきません。
I already forgot how they pronounced the name earlier. So I'm just gonna continue saying it like I did. Ah. Venya spoke from behind as they had followed me here. He won't? How come?
不吉だからです。
Don't be rude. What? After expressing my confusion, Venya further explained in a dark, ominous tone.
カヌス・エスパーダ、別名を死を告げる妖精。彼はあまたいる妖精の中でただ一人死を司り、あらゆる妖精が恐れる不吉の象徴。故に本来は祝いの席には姿を見せません。
I wasn't fully able to take in what they meant, and my mouth was agape. An ill omen, the fairy of death.
でも残念。とっても怖い。
I remember the fairies that ran away as Canis arrived. That's right. There was something similar in one of the books Grandpa left. Dullahan, a fairy with the appearance of a headless knight found in Irish folklore. Arriving in a carriage pulled by a headless horse, he leaves only after someone's death. Ooh. The Dullahan in the book was illustrated so menacingly. Although how it differed from Canis, I guess I never really paid attention. So that means he removed himself because other fairies are afraid of him?
そういうことです。そもそも祝いの席でなくとも、僕や陛下以外、他の妖精とは言葉を交わすことすらないでしょうね。
Cowards, all of you. That must mean Canis is completely alone out here in the fairy world he calls home. Cowards, the lot of you!
見えたやつはいわゆる寂しがり屋というやつ。
And he's such a nice guy too. I remember my conversation with Titania just a little while ago, like literally 10 text boxes ago. So maybe the two are just Canis ist. Why? Thinking about how long Canis always feels, the expression on my face darkens.
会場を出て右方向、螺旋に続く階段を登った先です。
I see. Yeah, I didn't see what word you were trying to go for. Huh?
カヌスの居場所ですよ。僕はそういった気配をたどるのが得意なので、気になるなら好きにしてみればよいかと。
Thank you.
女王陛下もあなたを買っているようですからね。他のみんなには僕それと時間的にそろそろ足元が滑りますから、せいぜい転ばぬようにしてください。
That sounds like we're going to fall. Okay, you know what? You know what? I am going to be mean to everyone, including myself, and stop right here. Because it feels like this chapter is going to drag on for a little longer than I feel comfortable streaming for. Because my eyes hurt. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. I mean, we've managed to finish one chapter and like at least half of the next one. Yeah. You said you were so tired and you stayed the entire stream, so thank you. Thank you to everyone else who's still here, who's watching, who was watching. I'm gonna put on the ending song, and then I also wish all of you a very good night. Thanks for coming. I'm gonna stream next on Friday. I think I put in my schedule. Yeah, Friday.
Ta-da!
Good night.